Hi, East Texas. Thanks for checking back in with us here at CBS 19 Plus. It has been a gorgeous day across East Texas. Very dry. You might have even noticed the drier feel to the air than we've had the last couple of days as the winds have turned to the northeast and the humidity has dropped. And that comes at a time when the current drought index just released today. The newest drought index now has most of East Texas in at least an abnormally dry category, with moderate drought just to the west in Canton, Athens, Palestine, and Jacksonville, and growing drought out to the west of Waco, as now it has entered the extreme and exceptional categories there. Unfortunately, with very little if any rain over the next 7 to 10 days, I think more of East Texas will go back into this moderate drought a week from today when the new drought index is released. Another concern for us is the humidity. Yeah, it feels great, but this dry air in place may aid to some grass fire and wildfire concerns over the next several days. You'll notice as we head through the weekend, we're staying with a very pleasant air mass, and it will remain that way through Tuesday of next week. Humidity might just bump up just a little bit by next Tuesday, but it's just ever so slight. So enjoy the nice cool mornings, warm afternoons, and the lower humidity. It's a hallmark of fall around East Texas, and we are certainly getting a good dose of that. All right, the wind and wind gusts on Friday. We'll have winds out of the east to northeast. They'll gust at times to 15 miles an hour. By the afternoon, there might be just some slight concerns that with that dry air in place and a little bit of a breeze, any kind of grass fire, wildfire that gets going may be aided by the wind and could grow faster than, let's say, if the winds were very light. So a little concern for tomorrow for any kind of burning. Would probably just not do it at all, and that would be the safest way to deal with that. Forecast fire danger tomorrow from the Texas A&M Forest Service shows parts of deep East Texas in either a high or very high category for the fire danger tomorrow. Most of East Texas is in the moderate fire danger. So I know it's a weekend coming up. We've got a lot of cool nights ahead. That's sometimes optimal for camping outside, especially this time of the year. You might want to be very careful with those fire pits or anything you have outside your campfire that you have going on, if you're even allowed to do that. I know some places, some state parks may not allow that just because of the drier conditions that we've had recently. Not sure about that, but you have to check with the office as you check in at the state park and your campground to see if you are allowed to have a fire. All right, September high temperatures. We've had a run here of above average temperatures. If we go all the way back to the 16th of the month, every day has been above average. In fact, for the month of September, as we get closer and closer to the end of the month, we're running about a 1.5 degrees above average. So it's another warmer than average month, and that just goes on top of what we've seen here going back to August, July, and back to June. So a couple of 80s in there, but we've had 18 days where the temperature was above average, 7 below average. I think today we finally break that string with temperatures so far in the lower 80s today. So we're probably not going to make it up to average, and with the cooler morning, I think it'll be a below average day. Later on tonight, clear skies, north winds, some clouds out over West Texas. We're still watching Hurricane Ian. It is forecast to become a hurricane again and then spin back on shore Friday somewhere in South Carolina. Meantime, for us, the circulation around a big area of high pressure combined with Ian out to the east will be a northerly flow and very dry air. We're talking about dew points in the 40s. Remember, the higher that number goes, the more humid it feels. So when it gets to about 60 to 65, it starts to feel a little more humid. Dew points will be in the 40s, and so that is very dry air. And that is a north wind, again, at times breezy, but that will set the stage. This is Friday night at 10 o'clock. Remember, we have under the lights for tomorrow night. It will easily be the coolest. Last week was the warmest. This week will be the coolest under the lights that we've experienced. Saturday afternoon, a little bit of a west-southwest wind, lots of sunshine, maybe a few more clouds approaching by Sunday from the southwest. All right, the under the lights forecast for Friday night, kickoff temperature 75 degrees and clear. 68 by 8 p.m. and 65 by 9 p.m. So what does that mean? That means you should take a sweatshirt or a light jacket, as it will cool off and it will feel cool, especially by the third and fourth quarter. Winds will be light out of the northeast at about 3 to 5 miles an hour. So no issues there for the field goal kickers and or throwing the ball. So passing should be at an optimum tomorrow night. All right, Tropical Storm Ian forecast again to become a hurricane, but still a tropical storm right now as it spins back off of the coast. It's out here in the Gulf Stream. This is warmer water, so it's tapping into that. Right now, the winds are already back up to 70 miles an hour. It just needs 4 more miles to go to become a hurricane again. Winds are gusting to 85 miles an hour. Barometric pressure continues to drop. Its movement is to the north-northeast at 9 miles an hour. In fact, later tonight is when it is expected to become a Category 1 hurricane, likely 74, 75 mile an hour winds, and then it will draw closer to the South Carolina coastline Friday morning as a weak hurricane, Category 1 hurricane, and then it makes landfall. Again, you're looking at some storm surge, 3 to 5 feet. You're looking at heavy rain. You can see the bands of rain that are pushing into South Carolina. So parts of Georgia, South Carolina, Charleston, Savannah, heavy, heavy rain, and that'll move up into North Carolina. In fact, as we take a look at the Hurricane Ian wind strength or tropical storm wind strength, again, it forecast to become a hurricane overnight, and then Friday morning, hurricane moving into South Carolina, and then weakening rapidly once it gets into Friday afternoon. So Ian will have some breezy winds from Charleston to Raleigh, from Wilmington back to Charlotte as it weakens Friday afternoon. Rainfall amounts, boy, these are hefty. You're looking at 4 to 7 inches of rainfall throughout parts of North and South Carolina into southern Virginia. All right, tonight's forecast for us, a cool night. Look at this, upper 40s in many locations, but starlit, moonlit, light winds. Pittsburgh down to 48, low humidity, 48 at Linden. We'll check out our central counties. Gilmer down to 47, Tyler into the lower 50s, and Longview into the lower 50s, 50 at Henderson and Jacksonville. Athens down to 54 over Deep East Texas. Temperatures dropping into the upper 40s. It's been a long time since we've seen some light blues or light greens on the map, and we're seeing that for tonight. 48 and moonlit at Crockett. Groveton 54, Hemphill 46, Center down to 46 degrees. Hour by hour for tomorrow, Friday, not Wednesday, but Friday, 67 at 10 a.m., 74 at noon, 78 by 2 o'clock, and then the temperature warms to around 82 by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. High temperature tomorrow, 79 in Pittsburgh, Mount Pleasant up to 78. Sulphur Springs up to 79. We'll be in the low 80s at Longview and Tyler, Mineola up to 81 degrees. Nearby Quitman and Lake Fork will also be around 80 to 81 degrees. 84 down in Palestine, Jacksonville 82, Henderson at 82, Carthage right around 80 degrees. Center and Hemphill lower 80s, Nacogdoches, Lufkin lower 80s, mid 80s at Crockett and Groveton. Here's the Barrow Scott & White Texas Spine Joint Hospital 7-day forecast. So tomorrow is a fantastic day after a crisp morning in the upper 40s and low 50s, 82 for the high. Breezy at times Saturday, 53 in the morning, 83 Saturday afternoon. Just a gorgeous day. It will be pleasant on Sunday, 53 in the morning, 86 Sunday afternoon. Suntastic on Monday up to 86. Still very nice Tuesday despite some slowly warming temperatures. 87 Tuesday, 89 Wednesday, and we're near 90 on Thursday, but it will stay warm and dry. Thanks for watching CBS 19 Plus, and have a great night.